Um, Not really sure if I'm doing this correctly, but I just wanted to take this video. Um, Today is Monday, February 23rd. It's 1:44 p.m. This is my trading account, and a couple things to note on here. I wanted to show you what I always look at when I come to this account is the equity percentage. I always want to make sure that it's above 80%. And I've never really seen it below 88%. So that basically means that my account, which this one right here is showing you the total balance of my account, this is showing you um, today's trades, and today being Monday. There's a lot going on, and I'll get into that. But week today, and then month to date, and then this is the last trading week. Couple things on here. This is where I pick the signals that I want to use, and I basically pick in my mind the best ones that I can see that are working for me. This is a rundown of the growth of the accounts, profit loss, balance, equity percentage, and then if you go down here, excuse me, this will show you month to date for 2026. These are the trades that I trade on my platform: gold, US 30, the Dow, and then Euro USD. As you can see, Euro USD only did one trade this month, and then gives you kind of a breakdown, but a fairly good month at 5.5%. And then if you want to, you can go into 2025. I started going, let's see here, it would have been March last year. And this kind of gives you a breakdown. There was some relatively, rough months in the interim of doing that. And it'll give you daily wins, hourly wins, and then down here it'll capture all your closed trades. It'll show you what you're profitable. I did have a trade today with gold. This had a drawdown of about $1,500 as of last week. It bounced back, and the swap fee is what cost because it was held open since 1:30, January 30th, before it closed today, and it took a little bit of a loss. And then you've got basically you can go through, and there's over 16,000 entries that I have currently on here. So that's primarily one show. I want to show you also the signals, and I can manage whatever signals I want to work with, and these are all signals that I can incorporate. Again, I only have these three, but I can change those up. I can do crypto cash, and I look at the overall performance, and I'm seeing what's going on. Crypto sucks. I don't like it. Dow Jones is just a tank. And EU Sniper doesn't take a lot of trades, but it continues to grow. Profit Stacker is all around the place, and it's pretty consistent now. I don't necessarily like it, but it does have a percent increase of 574%. And then you've got Gold Scalper, and that's the other one that I trade that's been phenomenal. Samurai Shotgun, I don't trade any of the Euro. I'm sorry, the um, JPY stocks crashed. I mean, it's terrible. So yeah, he does have new signals come in, and I'm going to consider those. They're new signals that get in and out of trades the same day. They don't hold any trades, so there's generally no swap fees, things of that nature. Double up tends to be a good one. The NASDAQ scalper, which is the one I use, and it's just slow but steady, and then so on and so forth. Everything that I do is on a zero point 0.4 pip, which, to explain that, I mean, this kind of tells you a risk management, and I kind of put in AI, if you trade 0.4 pips, what does that mean risk wise? And if you have $1,000 account and you're trading 0.4 size on US 30, which is what I trade, and you have a sudden 500 point market crash, it could wipe out 20% of the account. 20% on $1,000 account. That's really not too bad. If you want to understand 0.4 pips, basically my contract size is 1 and I trade 0.4. So that's a dollar value, 40 cents is how I trade. So your gains loss is 0.16 times the ratio there. And this gives you a better idea. 10-point move, $4 profit or loss, 50, so on and so forth. So I don't increase those. So I'm going to go over to my platform, which is where I keep an eye on all my trades. And as you can see, I can up the next trades to 0.41, 0.42. I mean, I can do it right now. I can go 1.5. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave them right where they're at, those very conservative adjustments. But as you can see, US 30 took on several trades. Now, these are trades that are currently holding when they were purchased, the correspondence to it. This down here will show you the oldest, or I'm sorry, the most new trade is this one right here, 1006. It took at 2,000 hours. And so that happened today, and it's slowly recovering. But as you can see earlier, it just plummeted. So if you open that up and you look at it, what you're seeing is, a substantial loss going on right now. And then if you go through your profits, you'll look at the highest one, which is this one right here, is currently at a negative 528. Now, I could close that out and lose $528. I'm not going to do that. Chances are by midweek we're going to see this pop back up. The biggest reason is Trump's like, hey, I can impose tariffs on whatever I want to do, and that really was announced today, and look what it did. So once that evens out, you'll see an uptrend, and then they'll start closing out, and that's my hope, and that's what I've seen, and I hope it continues to do so. So I will report later. But even so, I'm down $2,600. That's currently trading. My margin level is still exceptional. I mean, if that get down to 80%, then I would be, pretty screwed. Margin requirement 1,400, free margin. So I've got 70,000 some change. That's in a free margin that can take trades. The equity currently is 72 to 266, right around there, and then the total balance is here. So that's basically how it is. If I go over to gold does not have any trades currently. It's too high, and I traded out earlier up here for net swap fee loss, but that's fine. This has a tendency to only take in trades when this goes back down or feels like it's going to go up. It'll take into a new trade, and once you do that, then you let it ride. Other than that, how I get notified is I get emails, and I'll just show you on this one. A new trade is opened. That was the most new one that I had open. It's 0.4 again. It's 40 cents on a one contract. And then it also took on this one as well. And then if you go back to the one that got traded earlier, trying to see a closed position. So this one, there was a couple good ones. This was a profit of $267 minus your swap fee. And then you had US 30 traded out, $31 profits, $60 profits. And so you get updates on it. You know very well what's going on, but just going back to the mere fact that it's very conservative account. It's still accruing profits almost daily. It's not every day. But right now, a total profit of $89 today, and then for the month, almost 4 grand. It's a very short month. We didn't even trade last Monday, and so I just kind of keep an eye on it. I just let it do its thing, and kind of go from there. So